guys, this is Don LaForêt with a season finale review of Legend of Korra. This episode was called Endgame, and appropriately named. I loved this episode. I think this has been the best episode this season. Regardless, though, there are still a few things that I have like just a few complaints, just a few, which I'll get into later. Anyhow, most of this episode, I was on an emotional roller coaster ride, and that just makes me love this episode. And a lot of things made me worship the writers, so I'll get right into it. The action in this episode was amazing. Amazing. Everybody got a chance to shine except for Lin. Understandable though. So we had action from Naga, who kicked butt. Oh man, I want a polar bear dog now. We saw, and Mako too was another star in my opinion. He has a lot of skill. We hadn't really been impressed by his skill since pro bending, when he did that neat little hat trick. But when he shakes off the blood bending and shoots some lightning at Amon, I was like, oh! And I haven't really applauded anything Mako has done for a while, so I was like, yes, yeah. That was one of the highlights for me, when Mako just schooled Amon. Yeah, okay. Whew, okay. Asami. She has been really mature for the past few episodes, and I don't know, I was really glad that she ended up, she remembered why she joined Team Avatar to begin with, and it looks like she isn't gonna hold the Avatar, or she isn't going to hold a grudge against Mako or Korra. So I'm so relieved to see that, because as I said before, Asami is such an important part of Team Avatar that without her, they just aren't the same. She brings a whole new level of epicness to their team, so I'm really glad to see that she isn't going to become a villain, at least not in this season. So thank you, writers, for that. Now I can breathe easy, at least where Asami is concerned. Alrighty, one last gushing moment is when they panned through the back in the South Pole, when everyone's crammed into the room to hear the final verdict from Katara. Well, first of all, I was like, Katara! And I was like, Korra's parents! And then, closer towards the end, oh my god, it's Aang! I had so many fangirling moments in the end. And I was like, oh yeah, and Lin, her bending is restored. The ending just, I need my happy endings. Even though I was expecting a cliffhanger, I'm kind of glad there wasn't one, because I got really excited in the end, and happy kind of excited, so that, I totally approve of the ending. Totally approve. Getting into some of the things I didn't expect. Who expected... Okay, no. I shouldn't phrase it like that. I didn't expect Korra to be able to airbend once Amon took her bending away. By the way, Sawyer 7 Maj, if you're watching, you totally called that, so shout out to him. Yeah, he just called it, right down to Korra's facial expression too. He was like, she'll airbend and she'll be like, what? So yeah. Kudos to you, Sawyer 7 Maj. Alright, getting into what I expected was that she would, just based on survival, she would go into the Avatar state, and that would enable her to make even more progress with airbending and with being spiritual, and then she'll end up being able to make fast progress in season 2. That's what I was expecting. But instead what ended up happening was that Korra, she ended up, like, that whole conflict when she was like, oh damn it, I'm not the Avatar anymore. Then she was able to find balance within herself. And Aang definitely helped. But it was, now I can understand why the writers made that shift. She had to find balance in herself before she could make any real progress with external conflict. So, worship writers. They know what they're doing. Another thing I didn't expect was Tarlok being a hero. Ever since he became the villain, I was kind of like, okay, that's it. Tarlok, you're done. So when he ended up sacrificing himself to make sure Amon wouldn't hurt anybody else, I didn't expect that kind of, okay, there's a word for it, but I didn't expect him to actually sacrifice himself, because he had he had been selfish. He took things too personally. So I don't know. It was a shock to me, but I can welcome Tarlok back into my Hall of Fame of heroes, because that was a very selfless act. So all is forgiven, Tarlok. Okay. Now there have been a few things that that didn't quite sit well with me. First and foremost being that Korra didn't quite, resolve the bender versus non-bender conflict. Just because she defeated Amon doesn't mean his values have dissipated whatsoever. I think, or maybe that's what the writers planned. That maybe that's going to be part of season 2. I mean, okay, it kind of has to be part of season 2. If all of a sudden benders and non-benders are suddenly, like, harmoniously coexisting, then I'm going to be unsatisfied. So I'm thinking that's going to be a major conflict still for season 2. So I guess what had to happen was that Korra had to find, as I said, she had to find balance in herself first before she could reach out to other people and try to make a difference in their world. So I can understand what the writers did, but I just really hope that there's going to be some kind of resolution in season 2. Okay. One thing that I would like to see in season 2, but would probably be unlikely, is seeing spirits. Because I guess now Korra has connected to her spiritual self. Is she going to go into the spirit world at all? Or are spirits going to be a part of season 2 at all? Who knows? I personally, I would love to see some spirits, like Heibai, for example. But I guess, because, yeah, it doesn't seem like the spiritual aspect is going to be a strong part of her journey. It was a strong part of Aang's, but I think a lot of that had to do with because he was doing so much traveling. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. I hope we see spirits, but maybe that isn't going to be the case. Okay, now I just have a couple of questions for you. First off, how much training do you think Korra will need? Do you think she has conquered the Avatar state, or is she going to need a lot more training before that happens? And secondly, are there going to be any internal conflicts with Team Avatar? Has everyone kind of found peace with each other, or are there going to be some new problems that will arise? Let me know what you guys think about those questions, about your predictions for season 2, or anything that I've said thus far. And I'm so excited to see what will happen in season 2. But until then, I'll do some more reviews for season 2 as well. So see you until then. Bye. Double wave.